Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bumbershoot, where we're covering life's chaos with humor and heart. And we're also intermittently having funky recordings. Yep. So sorry for last week, Keston. I'm so sorry. I dug for 45 minutes last week. Did we not try to fix this, Tracy? Yep. Rhonda's not here today, but we tried to fix it and it didn't work. And then this week, what took me 5 minutes, I went into an area that I didn't see last week and we fixed it.
Yep.
So anyway, I'm sorry. Thank you for listening last week and giving us a chance being back this week because we're excited. We have Magon. I'm going to let you say your last name because if you read it, you say it wrong.
No, it's Magon Poiker.
Poiker.
Yes.
Does not spell with our English spelling.
No, it's not spelled that way. So
talk. You got to get closer and louder because you have a very soft voice. I've got it up all the way, the volume, but yeah,
okay.
Talk
I'll
with your
talk
belly.
louder.
Yes, talk with your belly, Magon. All right. So Magon, we are on our episode 16 of our third series and continuing with our Charity for Charity beneficiaries and family members. So Magon's daughter, Raelynn, she was a beneficiary what year?
She was a beneficiary for 2018.
2018. We should have, you know what I never even thought of? It would have been fun to put them all in order. It would have been hard to coordinate, but we could have recorded a whole season and then I could have plopped them into the right places. But then
maybe when the season's over, we can put a little timeline up.
Well, and I want to put it on the Charity for Charity website, just the beneficiary interviews.
That's great. Yeah.
So, Keston, we'll invite you back so we can have a clear recording of you too. We got to follow up with some stuff with Keston anyways.
We do. Yeah.
All right, Magon. Well, and Magon, she traveled down here to be here today. So that's nice. Special. Thank you, Magon, for coming out. And you incorporated a couple other stops. So we'll talk about that. But first and foremost, we want to know, how did Raelynn come to Charity for Charity?
Yeah. So we were in our Temecula home and we had just gone through some battles with Raelynn with her medical, and it was about the year before. And so as a mom, I saw from Rebecca,
that's right,
Peyton's mom. So I actually went down and met her at the hospital and we got to know each other. Aww. And I got to meet Peyton in the hospital. And so I was like, wow, this other girl has had a stroke too. And I just felt like it was my mission to kind of go out. And I'm like, we've been doing this for, almost, I guess,
at the time,
8 years at the time or something. So I was like, I got to reach out to other moms too that have had kids that have had strokes. So, I went down and met Peyton and that family. So, and then I heard that, she was a beneficiary. So I actually nominated Raelynn myself. And I remember sending out the application to you and you got back to me right away. Like I think I emailed you and then I sent a picture, even though I didn't think that I was like, well, I'm just going to send a picture so she can see who Raelynn is. And I didn't even know that if it was you or if it was somebody that was working at Charity for Charity, but
I don't remember this, of course.
You were just like, or whoever. I was like, she's beautiful, and then it was like months later that we had found out that we were,
So it was probably Allison responding to receiving the application. And okay, so I do this all the time. Let's go back and find out what's wrong with Raelynn. Nothing's wrong with her, but what is her diagnosis?
So she's had a pretty complex medical history from birth. So she's, she was pretty normal at birth. Everything was fine. And then we went to a routine checkup and they said that they had heard that she had a heart murmur. And they were like, don't worry though. It's really normal for, kids that are smaller to have this thing called PDA. And they just go in and they kind of do this really, easy surgery to repair the heart. And so we're like, oh my gosh, on our 3-month-old, that's scary, right? Mm-hmm. And so we did that and we were, it was a successful surgery. We didn't worry about, the outcome. We didn't know anything else was wrong with her at the time. And that was successful. And then we kind of went off on living our lives. She was hitting milestones. She was doing everything normal. And then one day we ended up bringing her down to the emergency room, and her whole left side of her body stopped moving. Like, she wasn't putting any weight on her leg. She wasn't moving her hand. She wasn't able to do anything with one whole side of her body. So we said, like, that's not normal. So let's get down and look at that. And they screened me for everything. They were like, did you just pull on her arm too hard? They were thinking that I did something. Like, they were like, okay, we're going to maybe get CPS involved because this is an injury maybe caused by the parents. And so I was freaking out going, oh my gosh, like, no, like, this is not like something's wrong, like, with the whole side. I'm like, it's not just her arm, it's her leg, it's her face, it's everything. So then they did the MRI, and they had told us that she had a stroke. And we were just like, what? Like, an 8-month-old?
Yeah, I was just going to ask how old she was at that point. So 8 months.
She was 8 months. And, me being young, and, most people don't know that strokes can happen in babies and in kids. And that was just a whole new world for us, because I'm like 70, 80-year-olds, have strokes, but not kids. So we were down at Rady Children's quite a bit after that, and we stayed inpatient for quite a bit. And she ended up having her second stroke a couple of days later in the hospital. And they did a double craniotomy down there where they cut into both sides of her brain, and they laid superficial arteries on her brain. I mean, this is my tiny little.
I was going to say,
so
it's just like an infant.
Yeah, she was tiny. And so, that's hard, obviously, as a mom, to see your little baby like wired up and just, going under such a huge surgery like that. But it was, successful, and for the most part. But we had learned that a couple of days later that she had her second stroke in the hospital, because they repeated the MRI and they showed even more at the time. And so they were just like, we don't know what's causing this. We don't know what's going on, but she just keeps having them. And so, we kind of got out of the scary part of being in the ICU, and they just kind of monitored her, and they didn't have answers for her at the time. And then they said, let's go to rehab for 2 weeks, and you're going to stay in another part of the hospital where like therapists are going to come in, and they're going to reteach her how to do the things that she once was able to do. And so
how long was that? How long were you guys there for?
So we were in the ICU for about 2 weeks, and then another 2 weeks in rehab after down at
So at
Rady's.
8 months, what had she learned to do? Like, was she crawling?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Crawling and like sitting up, and so she was
probably holding
eating,
like onto things like a toy or a spoon or something. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, all the milestones that she had learned, she kind of had to relearn. So, and then after that, it was just, outpatient and more therapies, and, so, and the third stroke that she had, we woke up one morning and she was just very disoriented. She was like bumping into the walls, and she wasn't able to have like the coordination. And this was when she was about 1.5 years. And so, I could just tell something was wrong. So we brought her back in again, and, she's had her third stroke. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, what is there something to stop these? Like,
and why is she getting them?
Right. And so they had told us a little bit. They didn't have a diagnosis then. They didn't really know what was going on at that point. But they were just like, her vasculature shows that it's very small at this point. They didn't have a name for it. They had no information, but they just said her arteries are very small, probably doesn't allow sufficient blood flow through them. And so that's probably what is happening. They did tell me, though, when she was a baby, you're born with 2 carotid arteries and 2 vertebral arteries, and that's your main blood flow up to your brain. And we were told that both of her vertebral arteries were completely occluded, which meant no blood flow was getting through the main arteries.
Oh my gosh.
And then one of her carotid arteries in the front was completely occluded. So she only had one carotid artery out of the 4 that we have that actually functioned and worked. So that's why they laid those superficial arteries on her brain, because they were saying, let's get more blood flow somehow. Maybe we can grow some, artificial, arteries to make sure that this blood's flowing better and maybe have a fighting chance because she's not getting a lot, up there. So kind of fast forward. I mean, those days are blurry to me because we were just in survival mode.
Right.
And so she had gone through, she'd had a 4th stroke and she had a 5th stroke. And at that point, I'm staying up every night and I'm researching because I'm like, my kid's a ticking time bomb at this point.
It's so scary. I can't even imagine.
It just wouldn't stop. And this is between 8 months and 2.5 years. So it's a very small, area of time. So, and we had Michaela too. So we had a 2.5-year-old, 3-year-old at the time. And so, we're juggling life with a toddler and plus, our special needs like child that's medically complex and fragile. Mm-hmm. So it was just a blur to me during that time and a whirlwind. But we got to her 4th and 5th stroke and we were down at Rady's and I said, no more. Like I have a stroke specialist that I found up at UCSF and they specialize in this because Rady's was like, they were kind of at the end of what they could do.
All their ideas. Yeah. Whatever,
right.
Yeah.
The self-advocating comes up every time.
That
is, moms and dads alike. And that's what this show has been, right? With the beneficiaries. It's 100%. Like you hear that. But you've got to do it as a parent, right? You've just got to do whatever it takes. So we flew up to San Francisco and we made it happen. And we're like, hey, she's in the hospital. We've already had the consult. We actually had the consult like a week before where we had driven up to San Francisco and made the trip up there and made sure the doctor was going to accept her. And they were like, okay, next Wednesday we sit down with our team. We would love to accept her up here, but you need to wait for that. We literally got back like that Monday before they had spoken and we were down at Rady's again with the 5th stroke. So I said, get her up there. I think that this hospital will take her. I'm going to call the doctor myself. Called it the doctor, made it happen. They flew her and I up there. And, we had a month stay visit up at UCSF in San Francisco.
Gosh. Did Michaela go with you or did
my mom and my mom and grandma ended up driving her up like a couple weeks later. And so she stayed up there for like a few times and we got the Ronald McDonald House so I could be with her. But yeah, it was really hard to be without her during that time. And I remember at the time they said, we have kind of figured out where this starts. Every time she goes under anesthesia, her blood pressure drops. And we don't want to do that anymore because when her blood pressure drops, it causes her to have a stroke because there's not enough blood flow already. Then you lower the blood pressure and the blood flow is really, really low pressure. And then those arteries collapse. So I'm like, okay, well, let's not put her under anesthesia anymore unless it's like a life-threatening thing. So we were all on board with that, is to just kind of watch her. Like we were like, yes, we found out what this was. We know like not to do this anymore. And then we had doctors saying that because, I think she was only like 22 pounds at like 2.5 years, which if you put it in perspective, I mean, I have a 1.5, I have an 18-month-old right now. She's 28 pounds. And Raelynn was 2.5 and she was 22 pounds. So they're like, we really want to put a G tube in. We really want to put a port in. And with these medically complex children, that's what you do because you want her to gain weight. You want her to get these nutrients in. And I'm like, well, we just talked about not doing any surgeries, like no elective surgeries. We don't want to put her under. And they're like, well, no, because we know her diagnosis now. We know that if we put her under, that we would keep her blood pressure up and there would, we could treat her as a
control it. Yeah, we can control
it now.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. So we made sure that everybody was on board with that. And she went in for the G tube and the port surgery. And, she came out and we were so hopeful. And she came out of surgery and she's just like laying there lifeless for hours. And I'm like, okay, why isn't she waking up? And so they were just like, I don't know, usually they come out within the hour and like give her another hour, so I'm just like, she's like tubes up, like it was horrible to see. And so we're trying to like wake her and trying to get her out of it. And they were just like, this is weird. She's not waking up. I think it was like 5 or 6 hours after.
Oh my gosh.
And so I was like, what is taking so long? I'm so worried, about my child at this point. And she finally came out and I'm like, something's not right. Like, well, like nothing, she's not doing anything. Like she was lifeless. She wasn't able to cry.
So she opened her eyes, but then she didn't have
But there's
any other...
nothing there. Like it was just blank. Like she was a vegetable.
Oh my gosh.
And she couldn't barely blink. She couldn't roll over. She couldn't cry. She couldn't do anything. She couldn't lift her arms. So I was asking like, what happened? So they went back, they did another repeat MRI and they were just like, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but she actually had her 6th and 7th stroke bilaterally, which meant one on both, like each side of the brain together. And we don't know what happened. Like, I guess the anesthesiologist didn't take me seriously, for whatever reason, and gave her general anesthesia and was not watching and let her blood pressure get down to 80 when it was supposed to be like upwards of 100 to 110 systolic blood pressure at all time. So I was like, we were just devastated.
Oh my gosh, that is awful. Like
we were just devastated at the time.
You have to trust. I mean, you
can't go in there with them. It's like they have to do their job.
And we told them the day before when we met with them and we signed things. And I walked all the way down to the room as far as I could go. And I'm like, just remember her blood pressure issue. Yeah, we do these all the time, So very frustrating. But again, you're focused on this new normal.
Yeah, exactly. And now what do we do?
Right.
We got to move on.
I feel like I lost my child that day. Like I know so many people and I know so many moms, and I think of Landis and I think of children that weren't born this way, that you have this accident and that wasn't your child. The potential that your child could be. And they're normal up until this horrible incident. And even with her strokes, all the way up until her 5th stroke, they were so minor that it was just like, maybe she lost a little bit of her, walking ability, or maybe lost a little bit of motor skills. This was the absolute devastating, like your whole half of your brain is completely gone after that.
Oh my gosh.
And it was literally controllable. It just took the doctors to pay attention to the part that you told them to pay attention to.
Right, exactly. And you advocate, like that's, you advocate as a parent, and it's really frustrating because, and I've heard it more times than not, they're just the parent, they're not the doctor.
Yeah.
They don't know enough.
So not like week after week we hear that's so not the case.
Right.
But when you don't know what to really, like, you got to get ugly sometimes for people to like know that you mean business.
And you're at a specialist. It's not just a regular doctor. You sought this place out. Like that is so, that's just.
Well, and I mean, but at the end of the day, there's lines that parents can't cross.
There's not, like
at hospitals and in surgery. It's like, you can't do it. You can't be in there.
You're just putting your faith in, professionals. And that's so sad that happened. That breaks my heart. And
So that was the day you really noticed the difference in. So you lost, which one was it? Jana that talked about grief. I think
it was Jana.
So it was like that was your when the grief struck you, that
the grief
this
of
is not
losing
my little girl,
right? Of losing somebody that's still living,
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. So that was our day, and that was 2015, and she has not had another stroke since.
Oh, wow.
Thank God.
Yeah. That's good.
But after that, it was like, I'm never letting another doctor, I don't care what their specialty is. I don't care what their badge says. I'm never letting somebody say that they know more than me because I feel like we went in for this elective surgery that I wanted to make her better. We were very like leery about it. And I already had kind of a pit in my stomach about like, should she need this? Like, it would be great, but she really doesn't. She's eating my mouth. She doesn't like, it would be great for future. But with that surgery that they did, it created her to depend on that fully. If that makes sense. So, yeah. So she went from, being pretty normal to needing to be fed every single night through a tube. And I mean, this is long before you had met her. So she had come even a long way, even, from when you met her. But she went, when I can't even say she went back to a newborn status. It was worse than that. She couldn't cry. She couldn't suck from a bottle. She couldn't roll over. She couldn't like even hold me. Like it was devastating. So we had to relearn all of that stuff again. And I think part of, the Charity for Charity video that you put up, at Stars, we had a whole thing about like her walking for the first time. And that was like the video showing. And she had to relearn how to walk like 3 different times during her whole, all the strokes that she had. So yeah, I mean, she's come a long way. She still has a long way to go, but here we are. She's 13 now.
That's what I was going to ask. How old is
she's
she
13. Now? So Magon, kind of share where she's at, like where, like mentally, what is she 13 mentally, or if she like, where is she at?
Yeah. So it's hard because she's nonverbal. So it's hard to get a lot of that information out of her. But I will say there's definitely parts of her that are 13. It's hit or miss. So cognitively, I would say she's probably at about a 2, maybe 3-year-old level. I mean, she still loves her baby dolls and she still loves to, her stuffed animals and to cuddle. And she's, 80 pounds and she's sitting on me and she still wants to be rocked. So there's that kind of thing. But then, man, the teenager attitude is coming out with that girl.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's cute. Yeah.
How conflicting for you. Like,
I know.
Get this baby girl and then she's 13. Like,
like how do you discipline that? Because I'm like, you can't be this teenager that has attitude and like rolls your eyes and, and I feel like she kind of plays me a little bit. Like she is kind of manipulative in that, like a teenager. So.
But she has regular hormones and cycles. So
sure.
She's going through that transition, right?
Yeah,
from a girl to a woman.
That's weird for me because I'm like, you're just this little 2-year-old, my 3-year-old baby, and I'm rocking you and we're playing babies and, playing blocks on the floor. But then you're like this woman, growing into this woman. So yeah, so there's this delicate balance, right?
Yeah,
so,
totally. That's funny.
But she's funny, she's so spunky. She's so feisty. At the end of the day, she knows what she wants. Like she tells you what she wants one way or another. One of her favorite places to go is up to the mountain with Grammy. And so she was never able throughout her whole life to be somewhere overnight because we had a night nurse and they were doing meds and they were doing blood pressures every single hour. And so just from the time that we've been in Nevada, we have seen her go up there, I want to say at least every other weekend.
Oh, wow.
And so she's like, I get to get out of the
Freedom.
house, going to Grammy's house. Like she'll roll her bag in the room and she'll be like, she knows it's Friday. She knows she doesn't have any more school. She's like going to Grammy's for the weekend. She'll FaceTime her and be like, I'm going up. She'll like point, she'll go up to the mountain.
Oh, cute.
So yeah. So I love that for her. Cause it just, that independence that she has. And my mom and dad are so great with her. So,
That's amazing.
Yeah. So.
Does Michaela go too, or?
I mean, she's a teenager too. So she's 15. She's got a, she's got a little boyfriend.
She has a boyfriend.
Yes. And really good kid. And, she's on the volleyball team and she's got things that she's doing. So she's, she's busy enough and she likes hanging out with mom and stepdad as much as she can. Kind of, we try to have that time with her when Raelynn's not there.
Yeah, because Ray takes a lot of energy and time and stuff.
For sure.
So I wanted to ask just one question. So Raelynn, she walks, you said. Does she have full motion in her arms and legs from the strokes currently?
Yeah. So she walks with a gait, a pretty significant gait, and her left foot, is kind of tippy-toed. And she does pretty well in our house and gets around where she needs to go from room to room. But for long distances, we do use the wheelchair.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but she definitely makes her way around
That's
the house.
amazing, considering
is,
like the story you just told. That's incredible.
Well, and there, like a little side piece is that I think almost every time we've been in the hospital and the doctors have walked in and you just see them looking down at this chart and they're flipping through the pages and they haven't even made eye contact with the family yet, but they're just like looking at our chart. They look up, glance at us, look back down at the sheet, and they're like looking around like, is this the room number?
Yeah.
Like what? No, this is, and they'll start to walk away and I'm like, no, it's for Raelynn, right? And I've had to do this several times.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, yeah, Raelynn. And they're like, there's no way that this child is doing what they're doing with 7 strokes. This is what I'm reading about.
They think they're coming into
She's
a
a
total
miracle.
vegetable.
Yeah.
And a
Right.
Yeah.
But she's a miracle girl.
Yeah. That also seems to be a little trend.
It does.
Charity for charity. Not because of us, I'm just saying. You know what? I think we might have touched on it a little bit in others, but let's talk about Michaela and what that was like for her as a little girl and then what it's like for her, growing up with Raelynn, because I think it's a cool lead into what we're going to talk about in a little bit.
So moms and dads and families of special needs kids know 100% where I'm coming from with this, because often those siblings are not, they're put on the back burner for so long, and everything's usually just like Raelynn, and, our special girl and our this, and our that. And, I think with Michaela having to grow up at such a young age, from about 3 years old is when this started happening, or maybe, about 4 years old when she really started seeing what, us being away at the hospitals and stuff was like. It's really hard because you have this guilt as a mom. Like, how do you, tear your heart in two, and how do you be at 2 places at once?
Right.
And you just can't, because you are always with the neediest child.
Right.
And that's just the unfortunate fact. So, we were down at the hospitals, we were traveling a lot, we were doing fundraisers, everything seems to revolve around Raelynn. And even to this day, it's like all the people that I associate myself with somehow have to do with Raelynn. And so, I'm like, Tanisha and Aubrey, we know them because of Raelynn and the school. And, just a lot of the friends that I have are because of Raelynn. So it really does kind of bump her out of the way. But in turn, she's grown up at such a fast pace, and she's just such a mature girl for her age. And so she's 15 now, but she, she definitely had some resentment earlier on, I think, but we have such a great relationship now. And I think the balance of having Raelynn be able to go and have that time, and me be able to delegate some of that work and hand her off to other people now, which I was never able to do.
Yeah.
Opens up the time now. And I'm really adamant about that, because I'm like, I only have 3 more years with her. And so I have to really make sure that I get as much time with her as possible.
Well, and you added another one. So you have a little one that's more demanding.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I'm like, so Michaela, you're not just second now, you're third. You're like bumped to the back.
But I have noticed that the siblings grow up so fast.
Yeah.
And they're so, they go into the world as a blessing, because they understand things that a lot of people don't understand about special needs humans.
They do, yeah. And she's really special too, because I know a lot of her teachers, especially in elementary and even in middle school, they would reach out and talk to me and say, I just want to let you know, how empathetic your daughter is. She shows these qualities, and they didn't even know our story, but they were just like, Michaela's the only one that notices if somebody's gone that day, and she'll write a little letter or note so that when they come back, it's on their desk for them.
Oh,
and I'm
my gosh, that's so sweet.
That makes sense, because that's, that's just who she is now. So it really has molded her to be so good and so patient. And she's so great with our 1.5-year-old. She's like a second mom to me. So it's, she's just a blessing too. So.
And and each week we look at how God takes, an unfortunate situation and turns it to good. And part of that is making, he multiplies these good humans to go back out into the world and to be able to have empathy and compassion and patience and all those things. So it's a blessing to have Michaela out there with that. I want to go back to Stars of the Valley when you guys first came. And I like hearing what your perspective was of it and kind of what Charity for Charity means to you now. And then we'll end with the grand finale.
Okay. So, like I said, I kind of nominated Raelynn myself, and I thought, well, this is a long shot. How many people do they have to go through? I didn't know what the process was. And, I was just thinking there's probably no way, but, hopefully we get it. And I got the call from Charity, and she was just like, we've nominated Raelynn. And I was just like, no way. And you have no idea. I mean, and I've heard it time and time again on these podcasts, but you have no idea what you're getting into and what it actually entails. Because you can scroll through the website and you can kind of see that's cool, But if anybody knows Charity and Charity for Charity, they know now that she just goes above and beyond, and everything's just so much more than you could even, think that, could happen. So I was just kind of stunned at first. And, I told my ex-husband at the time, I'm like, I think this is going to be the start of something really cool. And this gives us this home base of people, that we can be around and have these like-minded people that, other families, this is going to connect us and maybe help us, because we're still thinking all these other moms and dads that might have a child like ours, this might open up some avenues to even help her in her medical mission. So we were just excited for that, not knowing that, I'm just trying to think. So 2018, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
was she
6?
6?
Yeah.
Six,
So
seven,
she
six
was,
or?
yeah. So I think she was turning 8 or she just turned 8. Yeah. But yeah, it's been already 8 years just from that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Right. So I was trying to do the math on that.
8 years?
And
Yeah. Because
2018.
yeah. We're just shy.
Because we're
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Time flies.
I'm going to the Instagram page to find her picture.
Yes.
It's just
So yeah, even 8 years later, and I actually feel like we have a better relationship now than we did even in the beginning of this. And so I think I kind of guarded myself with my situation, and I guarded myself knowing that I was leaving, and I thought, oh, I'm not going to be able to be a part of this anymore. How do I, because everything's in Temecula and everything's,
It's local.
very local, and we're not going to be local anymore. And how do I still be a part of the events? And how do I still be friends with this, with Charity? And so I think it's been even better since I've moved. And it's weird because, I just feel I'm in a healthier situation now, but I will also say that we have kept in touch and we're, so when we're constantly checking up on each other. And I had to come down and do this. I didn't
so
care.
nice.
I know. I
How
loved it.
far it was. I was like, she's like, we could do it on the phone or online. I'm like, no, this is an excuse for me to come down and see you. I'm coming. So yeah.
Yeah. I know that meant so much. And we've seen each other a couple times over the last.
Yeah. How long ago did you move
maybe?
to Nevada?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. Okay.
Yeah. So she had some stuff she had to go through, and we kept into. She kind of we're really good about not letting people go, as you know, but it takes both sides. So you have also been good about even when you kind of had to check out for a little bit, you just would pop in a little bit here and there. And so, and we were praying for you the whole time. Even when we weren't talking to you or seeing you or anything, we were praying for you. And you came back to Stars after a couple years. You came the last 2 years.
Wow.
Last 2 years.
Awesome.
Yeah, we make sure that we come every year again.
Yeah.
Do you bring Raelynn every year when you come?
Yeah,
So I
the whole
probably
family.
saw her I've been around for 3? 3 or 4 galas. I can't remember.
I think. Yeah, for sure.
So I'm sure I saw you guys, but I don't think I ever got to meet you. So I'm very excited to meet her.
It's been fun because Tracy's newer to.
I am, yeah.
You're probably my newest best friend, aren't you? She's like, yeah. And then Rhonda, so we're all three. We became friends through our boys, but Rhonda has come to Stars, but she didn't get involved until right almost about when you got involved, right?
Yeah.
So they got involved in Charity for Charity at the same time.
She would go to the stuff, like you said, but yeah.
Yeah. But and then I didn't even know Tracy till I knew her, and then she started coming to Stars. But
I was able to meet Rhonda when you guys came to Vegas. So.
Oh yeah.
We went to lunch.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Luca's
So
birthday, was that what?
It's probably like 6 months ago or something.
Oh, I remember. Did you guys go with the boys to some concert or something?
Yeah, that's what it was. Anyway, but it's been fun because I know all of you, but they're getting to know everybody. And it is something, like you said, we've gotten closer more recently. There's so much going on in the beginning, and we spend a lot of time with everybody. And then it kind of starts to dissipate a little bit until the events throughout the year. And I really think the events throughout the year do keep us connected more to everyone. And when you weren't able to do that, that's where I think you felt a little more disconnected. But we really get I'm going to say butthurt when people don't come to stuff. We miss people.
It's always, where are they? Where's so-and-so?
Why
Where's
aren't they
so-and-so?
coming? I mean, did they quit us? Why aren't they coming? Why are they ignoring? So we talked about that last week. And actually after the episode with Keston, we had a little more conversation with him about we do think sometimes people move on from us. We're connected to, it's a great thing, and it's a family, especially when you're going through everything. But I think sometimes when the ones that have passed away, the families have kind of, I don't want to say moved on, but in the sense that it's
It's probably hard for them
it's
too.
hard. Yeah. It's almost PTSD-ish.
Right.
Even though it's a beautiful blessing and all the things. Also, we've had other beneficiaries that, like Keston, he's cancer-free, or how they say it. I can't remember that saying, and I say that every time I can't remember it. But, it's the need for the support and the comfort of the Charity for Charity family is less. They're still connected and they love us, but, they're maybe not they're living a normal life out in the world, especially when you're cancer free. Now you have no, nothing holding you back,
You're living in the world now, and you get more busy, and
so you don't need it as much. And we get really sad about it. It is something that to our core, Allison and I will be we whine about it in the office. So I'm grateful. All that to say, I'm grateful that you did keep in touch, and we were afraid to lose you. We're oh no, she's moving away. But we're so glad that you didn't.
Well, I'm back full force, and I'll make sure that
so you'll be back this year for the gala.
Absolutely, it's already in my
Awesome.
calendar, and I think I'm going to come back for both days. I'll do the gala or the golf day, and then, So
we want to give you a hole for the book.
That would be great.
Yeah, signing.
Because we're going to talk about your book.
It's exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, and then if you can make it sometime for the cruise, that would be fun.
So that's what I was going to say. We were expecting to come on the cruise, but Raelynn was in critical condition during that time.
Yes.
So, she had a really hard this last summer, May and June. We actually thought we were going to lose her this summer.
Yeah, you scared me there for a minute.
Yeah, that was bad. So otherwise, count us in for next year.
Yeah,
so,
okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, and I'm so grateful that your husband's so supportive and
he's amazing.
Stepped right in.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's come Charity for Charity family too.
Stepped in, and it's hard to find a good person that will take your kids as your own, but a special needs child on top of that.
Yeah, exactly.
He just kind of went right into that role as a stepdad, and so I couldn't ask for anything more.
He's amazing. Ever since the first time I ever saw him, and how he's so in tune to Raelynn and so protective of her. It's just beautiful.
They have a good connection. Yeah.
So sweet.
A lot of times, like I'm just like, I'm burnt out at the end of the day, or I just need some time to be with my other kids. And he will be the one that just like goes in, lays with her, gets her down, talks with her. Like nobody like, and I'm bad at this too, but a lot of people don't know to like just sit and talk with her, because she probably misses out on that, because you're not having a conversation back and forth.
One way. Yeah.
So, a lot of the times you're talking to either kids in the car or laying down in bed. And I will be the first to say, like, and admit it, I'm not that type of mom, because I don't think about that with her, because I'm not having this fluent conversation back and forth with her. And he's the best at that. He'll just sit there and he'll talk about stuff, and and I'm just like, you're amazing. Like, you're the piece of the puzzle that
you
just
needed.
That's really
and
sweet.
she is crazy in love with him.
Yes.
Like she's I see her like look to him all the time. Like, it's a beautiful thing. I just love it. I love it for
they're really
all
good
of you.
together.
It's great.
Thank you.
And Michaela, she just loves him too. It's just a beautiful thing. Amazing. Well, and something he didn't know he was getting into is marrying an author who's going on the road and doing book signings.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
tell us about, I kind of spilled the beans, but I did want you to remind us the wishes that were fulfilled.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wanna
right.
know
Before
those,
we get into
'cause
the book.
I couldn't find
Okay, yeah.
Raylan's picture online.
Oh, you couldn't? Like on my website, you couldn't?
I didn't. I was just looking at the charity
If
for
you look on
charity
the beneficiaries
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Facebook.
on the
If you look me up too.
Oh, on the
the
website.
and the today's like little promo should be on ours.
Oh, good. Okay.
But yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you look at charityforcharity.org under beneficiaries, you can find
Click on this
Raelynn.
link.
But I'll be posting on Bumbershoot Charity
Okay,
anyways. Okay. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I had told them, when they came in and they said, what are you thinking for your wishes? And I'm thinking, I don't even know what to ask. I don't know, what we would benefit from. But I did say that, I remember telling Charity and Allison that, we try to get out as much as we can. So we're, but we don't really have the option to go a lot of places with how she was at that time. But I think I painted the picture of like, I told you that her sister and her friends would play out in our backyard. And Raelynn, like, it was just the saddest little image. And she would put her hand on the glass and she would just like look out the glass window with the puppy eyes and just be like, I wish I could go out and play, And like, we didn't have really anything out there. It was just like old grass and like a playhouse.
Allison wanted to kill me for this one.
Oh, what you got?
That was a new thing, right? She's like, we've never done construction.
Oh boy.
Yeah, wait till you hear this. So I was just like, okay, like maybe a handicap accessible backyard of some sort, so that the girls can play together and she could feel included, and like it wouldn't be somewhere where we would have to like get up and leave. Like it would just be in her own backyard. Great, like we could do that, right? And then, so that was like our main wish, is just, a handicap accessible backyard for her. But that's not all, right? We've all heard it. That's not all. It just kept coming. So one of the wishes that we had, or that was given to us, was a snow day.
Oh,
because she couldn't go up to like past a certain elevation.
Oh, wow.
So they brought the snow to our house.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I love
in the
that.
front yard.
That's so cool.
And like Elsa and Anna were there, and we had like this big snow hill in our front yard, and all of our neighbors came, and our family and Charity for Charity family was there. So that was a really fun day for sure. We had food.
I
and
sled
stuff.
with her down the
Yes, I still have those pictures.
This is so cute. Send them to me so I can post them on the
Okay, yeah,
Instagram.
I'll have to like go back and find them. And so we had that, and then our backyard, like, it superseded anything we could. I would like to hear the other side of this, because
Nope, it's just magic.
It was amazing.
like they were just like, we're gonna get this done, we're gonna figure it out. But it wasn't just like, here's here's like a little equipment or something that she could use. We had, and I wish you could, like, I'll have to show you after the show, but
maybe we couldn't uproot it and move it with you.
Okay. That was the reason why I was so sad about moving from that house. I was like, I want my backyard to come with me.
Oh my gosh.
They had put a full Aluma wood, like thing over the patio with fans and cooling stuff for Raelynn so that she wouldn't get overheated. There was a playhouse out there. They had a park grade like slide and swings and like something that you would see in a park. Mm-hmm. You know, it was like concreted in down below.
With like all the little rubber or wood, something safe for the landing
They
area.
put the grass in. Yep. And then they put a splash pad in as well.
Oh my gosh.
Like a full functioning
amazing
water splash pad that like came out of the ground, and it had this tub and like you could recycle water and stuff. It was insane. I think that was like the selling point of our house.
Say, was that a good selling point for your house?
I will say that's a good part too.
I was like, you need to make sure that somebody with kids has this house that's going to appreciate this, because I was so sad to leave just because of that backyard. Because it was amazing. Yeah.
Well, and the backstory is just funny because, you know, I'm always like, let's do this. And Allison's like, Charity. She's like the voice of reason, which
bring you back down.
It doesn't really compute with me very often.
No.
And then
she doesn't win though.
She doesn't win. And then she just curses me the rest of my life. But it was like, the thing is that we were kind of playing a role of general contractors, which we're not. And we were soliciting like donations of this, like all the elements. Like we were buying all the equipment, but then we were asking people, the construction, different, I don't know what you call it, contractors,
different,
if they would donate their time. So coordinating, getting them to do it, then coordinating their time with the other guys' times that are also donating their time. It's not like you can get everybody there.
And the family's
like
time.
You would. And it's hard enough to coordinate contractors when you're paying them.
Right.
Top dollar, never mind when they're donating it, you know, like their time and stuff. And so it was just, that was the challenge. Like I went on and like was buying things, not worrying about, who do we get to put a splash pad in? Like what kind of contractor? So that's kind of how we roll here in Charity for Charity.
How long did that project take to complete?
You have to ask Magon now.
I want to say like half the year. Probably.
Okay. Wow. So it's I need to see pictures. I need to see pictures of it.
Because they have to completely...
They had to tear out
everything that was in there and start from this like square,
That's a cool
dirt.
wish. That's like
It is cool.
Yeah.
Allison, every time she's like, we're not doing that again. We're not doing that again. Same with like, they need a retrofitted van. She's like, we've tried that 2 times. It's not working. I'm like,
Well, I feel really special now that you pulled that one out, knowing the backstory now. So.
Well, we definitely, where there's a will, there's a way. And that's why I don't let anything like stop me. Now, moving forward, I may have second thoughts about certain things. But, but I feel like it doesn't matter. Who cares? Who cares? It was pain in the neck. Yeah. We just made a little girl's wish come true.
Exactly.
And Allison believes that way too, but it's just funny because she's just so ornery with me. So she's always like, and I think that we've probably had about 2 other, beneficiaries that came through with wishes. I don't know if it was a backyard, but it was like something that had to do with constructing something. And she'll glare at me across the table. Be like, wait, but our resources grow every year with it, true. And it's like and that's what it takes. I mean, if you look at Make-A-Wish Foundation, they've been around forever, right? In fact, there's a lot of celebrity status companies, or not companies, but to get to certain celebrities, you go through management or you go through foundations, and there's a lot of them that say we're exclusive to Make-A-Wish. And it's like, well, that's not fair. So it comes with longevity, and they're nationwide. So it doesn't limit them as much as we get limited sometimes. But I still feel like, we make it happen in our own way. And the hardest thing is there's such a network we have, but all of the beneficiary families follow us as individuals and as the organization, that we can't like put it out there because then it'll give away what we're trying to do for wishes. So we have to kind of like try other ways. So anyway, let's just put it out there. If you have any connections to any celebrities or sports athletes or whatever, please hit us up so we can keep you in our back pocket in case we have a wish we need fulfilled.
Yeah.
Well, and so let us come to where you're at today. What's going on in your life today, Megan? You and Ray's life.
So I never thought I was going to be an author, let alone a best-selling author, which is a crazy title to think of, especially for my first book. But I had an opportunity. So I have been working on my autobiography for years. And so I came to a standpoint about a year ago, and I was writing on the death of my brother at the time, which is a very heavy piece, right? So I was just like, I've got to stop right now, because I was getting into these like funky moods of, just being like down and out. And I'm just like, I can't do this right now. So I put that book on pause. And that was just something like, I'm going to write a book one day, and when I get to it, when I feel like I can start writing again, and one of these days, like maybe I'll publish it and maybe it'll be something. And just over the last year, I really had a push because he had an incident with the school that Raelynn was at the time, where she had come home with some bruising. And I was like, like not going to happen. We're taking her out of the school. And, we were actually driving to a different state for her to be able to go to school because they were just being so horrible with her. But during that time, I was telling myself, I was feeling defeated in that time. I'll say that because, you're trying to advocate for your child. You're trying to get this inclusion, piece for them. You're trying to, and it's not like how you would think. It's not like, hey, kids, be nice to my kid,
Right.
make her feel included. It's the adults. The adults are the ones that need more of a, hey, this is how we include her. This is what we need to do to, to be kind and be nice to her. And so I thought, well, why not? I just sat with it for like 2 days, and I wrote the book in like 2 days. And it's a children's book, it's only like 20 pages or something like in total. But it was my mama heart coming out, because like we had to get lawyers involved and we had to make sure that she could, be included in school. So I'm like, what can I do that maybe, and now I'm like promoting this book at the schools, and I'm like, put it in your library, and, and that's I'm going around and I'm like, I want to read in the classrooms, and I want to like read it to these other kids, but I'm secretly wanting the parents to hear it and the teachers to hear it, because I'm like, this is what my message is just this little girl, like with her resilience and, just how motivated she is to be here. She wants to be here. She wants to be like everybody else. She wants to be loved like everybody else. And you guys aren't doing that. So it was just a big push for me to write this book. And I thought, well, how cool would it be to make like 50 copies and give it to my friends and my family and have this little legacy for Ray. And I never expected it to go as far as it already has. And so the first night that it was live on Amazon, it hit Amazon bestseller in 11 different categories.
Wow, that's awesome.
And so I was like over the book Holes. Like, I don't know if you know, like that they have like a movie about it, and it's Disney, so, and even over Wonder, it hit over Wonder. And so, and that's a big one too. So I was just like, oh my gosh, this one, and we got this one. So I was like hooked, because it was like a rush for me.
Yeah, you think?
So I was just like, I got to have more of this. This is amazing. I never expected this book to go as far as it has. And, my marketer was like, go out, market what you can, start doing book signings. And I'm just getting that heart back for helping people, because when I was in California, I knew the system very well. I loved advocating for other parents. I mean, I even had Tanisha over with Aubrey, and I was the one like helping her facilitate how to get benefits for her daughter and stuff like that's what I loved doing with my time. So I'm like, why not advocate, use this as a platform, help moms, help parents, get those speaking engagements, do what I need to do to get my name out there so that I can be, you know, inspirational to the world, I guess. So
that is so cool.
That is awesome.
So, we could have had you read it. It's not that long, but we'll just tell everybody to buy it because if you read it,
we could put
online,
the link. We can put the link on the page too.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, so it's a book. What is it? It says like it has a little tagline under. It's called.
So it's Raylynn's Flower Garden, and it's a book about a child with a rare disease and how she learns to overcome it each day. And you can get it on my website, which I tell people it's Magon Peuker, PEUKER.com. And my first name is Magon, Magon. So it's different, but yeah. So if you go on, MagonPeuker.com, you can actually buy it directly from me. There's a Amazon link, but there's also a link to get a signed copy by Raelynn, which I think is really fun.
That is.
Then they can get the signed
your
copy.
last name one more time.
PEUKER.
That is.
That's why you're like, that doesn't sound like Peuker.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it's on my website. It tells more about our family. It tells more about the background of Raelynn and just, some of her, her diagnosis and then that's a great way to be able to get a signed copy from her and get it directly to you. So,
well, I think, in February, you're going to do signings at Stars, aren't you? You and Cass, we're going to set you guys up next to each other.
I love that. Yeah. And Cassie actually came to my book signing today. So I had a book signing earlier today at Hush Coffee, which I didn't know she just had one a couple weeks ago.
That's what she said. She goes, it's so crazy that we both did it.
And I ran into her this morning, and she knew that I was going to be in town, but she's like, I've been here since 6:45, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So we got pictures today and
signed each other's books.
Yeah. We exchanged books and
what's that? It's on her website, the podcast.
Oh,
love it.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Good thing it sounds good this week.
Yeah. So
amazing.
All my upcoming events and things like that. So it's been an amazing journey. I don't want to stop. I have 2 more books for the Raelynn series that are going to be coming out next year.
Yay.
And then the following year, I will drop my autobiography.
Oh, awesome. This probably won't air before they can hear it to go to Spuntino. But after this, you're going to do a book signing at Spuntino. Mm-hmm. And so hopefully you'll get some new eyes, fresh eyes on you over there. And
I'm excited.
Get some people to buy. And then, like you said, you can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it on your website. And we'll put the link as well. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to share with us?
Just how much I love you guys. You guys are just amazing. And I'm just so excited that I had this opportunity to come out.
Yeah,
and,
me too.
Anytime I can come out and see my Charity for Charity family, I'm all about that. So
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Well, we'll definitely, any trip you make, we'll try to do a book signing so that we can incorporate that. Do you do book? Is that something that, I don't know how this stuff works. Is it only when you launch a book or is it forever?
It's forever. But like I said, even in February, I think in March, I'm going to drop my next book. And so even the following year, for Stars, I'll have 3.
And that's the 20th anniversary year. So that'll be really cool to have that.
Put that date in your calendar now because you're required to be there.
Yes, everyone's required to be there. All of you listeners, you better be there too. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm going to have to I hope that I
fill it.
We sell out. Yeah, but then I better
keep making more space.
Everybody, where are we going to go from here? No.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Magon, thanks so much for making a point to come down. It's been great hearing. I mean, obviously I knew a lot, but it's been fun to share your story. And and I just, Ray, it's such a sweet thing to have relationships and connections with the Bennies and their families, and Michaela growing up with us too. The kids now, I hope to be at all the weddings and the baby showers and all the things, So
you will.
We try to support, and even siblings with big graduations and things. We try to keep that in mind, because even though it's the beneficiary that has the disease or condition. It's the family that,
and you really
that goes through it.
You embrace the whole family.
Yeah,
so
sure. Yeah, and that's what we make a really big effort to do it. I mean, we try to do like, we never say that we do more than one wish, but that's not a lot.
Yeah.
But we always try to make sure that there's a family incorporated specific, for the whole family.
Yeah. It's so nice because it surprises people every year.
I
when
know. It's so
they're like,
cute.
what? The siblings, if they're on stage, they're like, oh, it's very sweet.
Yeah. And it's, it is hard sometimes when you're limited to what you can do for the beneficiary. So sometimes you have to get creative. Like Landis's, we did her brother and sister and then a family, because, the brother went through it in the car accident with her too. So that was a different and unique situation in and of itself. But that is something we always try to do. So.
Can I say one more thing just because you mentioned Landis? So I have been actually in touch with Landis's mom and
Sarah, that we have to re-record her 110 minutes of podcast.
Yes, Sarah. And so I just wanted to point out really quick, and everybody can like DM me later or whatever, but we, I had talked about how Raelynn we almost lost Raelynn this past summer. We made the last ditch effort to come out about 2 or 3 weeks after she got out of the hospital. We came back to California and we did the stem cell therapy. That was absolutely life-changing. And we saw this sick girl that was laying in bed, couldn't get up, couldn't do anything, wasn't eating or drinking, was wasting away. She had lost 15 pounds during that time. To the next morning, she was up on her knees and she was jumping on the bed.
That was miraculous.
That was like a miracle. And I just wanted to say that because I've had a lot of moms, and when you said Landis, I was like, I gotta give a shout out because I've been talking with Sarah and anybody else that has been thinking about stem cell therapy. We've already seen so many great things with it, and we're only at the 3-month mark now or something.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
that's great.
And it's supposed to just get better within like the 6-month mark and even over a year. So
you're saying Sarah referred you to that?
So actually, Sabrina, Ford's mom, was the one that referred me to this doctor. But I've been talking with Sarah about it, and so that made me think like any other moms that are thinking about doing the therapy, the stem cell therapy, amazing. Yeah. So contact me if you want more information.
Well, and that just reminds us how much bigger this is than fulfilling wishes, because these moms that have this network and connection and are there for each other. That's probably my favorite part of the whole thing.
Everyone who comes on has said about a connection with another parent in Charity for Charity. And it's really cool to hear. I love it.
I've never even met Sarah face to face. And, we have this whole, talk over the internet and everything. But I know we plan to at some point, but
Stars. She was there last year, but she was talking to Danica for most of it. Yeah. They've gotten really close, which is really sweet. Yeah. But this year, we're going to do less, focused entertainment this year, so everyone has more time to dance or socialize, network, kind of. So we're going to kind of loosen it up early, this next year. And then for the 20th, we're not picking new bennies for that. We're just honoring all the past bennies. So
that will be fun.
It will be fun, and I have a lot of fun plans for it. So
that's exciting.
It's going to be a celebration.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
It's exciting.
So anyways, all right. Well, thanks so much, Magon, again. Have fun at the book signing. I hope that you sell lots of books, and you're here for a couple more days, or?
I leave tomorrow.
Oh, you leave tomorrow. Okay. Well, so we'll see you, I guess, at Stars next, because then we hit the holidays and we know how that crazy that time of the year is. So so we'll look forward to seeing you at Stars, and hopefully some of our listeners will say, hey, I heard you on the podcast.
That would be awesome.
Yes, that would be great. All right, you guys, that's not all. We'll be back next week. We're going to do kind of a detour week, and we're just going to celebrate doing this for a year. Yeah, we're going to take next week to do that. And then after that, we've got Caitlin, who's coming out from Arizona to do the podcast. Yeah, and then she's staying through Thanksgiving, I think, with Raelynn. Yeah, so we get to meet her fiance and all the things. It'll be great.
Thank you,
All
ladies.
right, you guys.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow us on Bumbershoot Charity Instagram and subscribe where you listen to podcasts. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.